In this Windows 8 training module, we're going to take a look at the Start menu, how to use the Start menu, how to modify it to better work for you, and we're also going to cover some of the new features available to it. So let's jump into it. This is the Start menu here. This is what you're greeted with every time you start up your tablet or PC device, unless programmed otherwise. As you can see, we have tiles that are doing a lot on the menu here. They're displaying new information and updates. These are all considered live tiles. Now, live tiles are introduced with the Windows 8 operating system, along with this entire Start menu here as well. The live tiles basically give you up-to-date information from the application that they're for. For instance, the Netflix application here is displaying some of my recently watched TV shows. The Hulu application is doing the same thing, displaying my recently watched TV shows. The news application over here is displaying information related to news that's occurring right now. The weather app is also a good representation of a live tile. It's giving me the current weather for the area that I'm in. So to get options for these tiles, you can, if you're using a keyboard and mouse, you'll want to right click on them. If you're using a touch enabled device, you will use a touch gesture, which is just simply holding the tile, pulling it down slightly until a red box appears. You see the check mark there too. I'll do this a few more times. I'm on the Hulu application, can't tell. And when that red box appears there, if I just let go of my Start menu here, or the tablet, it will then open up an option menu. Now this is basically like right-clicking on it too, and it's a little bit simpler with a keyboard and mouse, I will admit that. But you can just right-click on it and it'll give you this menu here. Now as you can see here, I have a few options for the tiles. First off is live tiles. So I can actually turn off the tiles from displaying live information from this menu here, which will make it a little bit easier if you're working or trying to get something done, because these tiles can be distracting when you go to your Start menu and you're trying to get something done, and it's constantly giving you the latest Twitter update and you don't really want to pay attention to that. So you can turn off the live tiles at any point if you find them too distracting, or if you just don't like the information that it displays, and you can do this just by tapping on that turn off live tile. And there you go, you can see the Hulu application now just changed to not displaying information, just saying Hulu Plus. So let's get options again for it. Now, notice in this menu I've got a lot of options actually available to me. First off, I'll go right to left here. I can unpin an application from the Start menu. Now what this means is everything that you currently see on my Start menu is pinned to the Start menu. Now for instance, if I don't want to see the Hulu application, and let's say I don't use it very often, I can unpin it from my Start menu, and that will not remove it from my computer, but just remove the link from my desktop. It's similar to if you had a shortcut on your desktop in a traditional Windows PC. You may not use that program very often, so you could just delete that shortcut from your desktop. It doesn't remove the program from your desktop, it just removes that shortcut. This is essentially what pinning and unpinning means. It is the same thing. So I can unpin the Hulu application here, and that'll just make it disappear from my Start menu. Now that was just one of the options. Let's look at a few more here. I can also not just unpin it from my Start menu, but let's say I do want to get rid of it from my PC altogether. I can actually uninstall it with this uninstall option here, and that's the second to right along the bottom. Now the uninstall option will remove it from your computer altogether. You can do this with applications and programs from the Start menu. I really like this feature. It makes it a lot easier for Windows 8. You don't have to jump through as many hoops like going to Control Panel, then add and remove programs, and then uninstall it and running through the uninstaller. This is actually really simple. You just click uninstall, and it doesn't even ask you any further information or tell you when it's done. It'll just start uninstalling the application, so you can go about doing your work. which is the point, right? You don't want to spend any more time on an application that you don't want. You don't want to sit there and tell it, you know, next, next, and then click finish when you're all done. You just want it to be gone. Well, Windows 8 makes that a lot simpler and does that for you. So I really do like that feature. Now next here, you'll notice after the uninstall option, I have the smaller option here. Now what this means is, you notice here on the start menu, I have two sizes of tiles. The small, let's say the calendar and weather app are both the small size, while my Skype application that I'm currently on is in a large size. So you can change all the tiles on your start menu to be larger. Now that only actually works for applications. For any shortcuts to programs that you have in your start menu, they are stuck in the small mode only. They cannot go to the large format. So I'll change the Skype format from a small or from a large to a small right now. And there you go. It's very simple. It just shrinks it in size. Now I can undo this by basically going back into my right-click menu. And now because it's a smaller one, I can click and the larger option appears. So I'll make it larger there. We'll get back into our options menu. And then very lastly, you'll notice on the very far right-hand corner, which is the opposite of what it used to be, we have the All Apps menu. Now, what this is basically it's the equivalent of the All Programs menu from the previous version or traditional versions of Windows. So in the Start menu, you'd go to All Programs, where all of your programs were installed, and you could also find Windows programs, the built-in default programs as well too. Well, this is basically where that menu has now moved to, and it is similar in that respect. If you click on it here, All Apps, it'll open up a menu here. Now I have mine organized alphabetically, and you can also have it organized and break up applications and programs into two separate sections. But I like mine alphabetically. It makes a little bit more sense for me to move through. And I'll cover how to do that change in the personalizing video. That's training module number 5 coming up. But as you can see here, let's say I unpinned an app earlier, which I actually don't remember for the life of me what I unpinned. Oh, that's right, I unpinned Hulu. So I'm going to open up the All Apps menu. And you can also get to the All Apps menu by swiping from the top down or from the bottom up on the screen here. That will reveal the All Programs or All Apps menu here. I'll open that now again. So I unpinned earlier the Hulu Plus application. Now I want to repin it back to my Start menu. You can do this with any one of your applications or programs in this menu. You can right-click on it, or in my case, I'm going to use a touch gesture of pulling it down until I get the check mark and then releasing. And now I have an option to uninstall it or also pin it to my Start menu. And I want to pin it to the Start menu here. When you do this, it will not put it in the very front. It actually puts it to the very far right of the menu on the very end. You can then take this and then drag it all the way up to the front. Try that again. Drag it to the front or wherever you'd like to place it, and then just drop it into place. So that's pinning applications and also moving them through the menu. Now you'll notice here also when I scroll through the side, you notice I have a few different groups. I actually have this Google Earth group here, which I'm going to get rid of now. What I can do to alter the groups on this menu here, we can zoom out of the menu, Start menu, zoom out. And if you don't know how to zoom out, I recommend reviewing training module number 1, which covers touch gestures and how to manipulate this menu in that way. So I'm going to actually move this to the very end. Now this is all of your Start menu basically. You're zoomed out and you can see all of it now. And you notice I have a few different groups with names above them here. I have the Google Earth group, which is where I keep all my Google Earth applications. So I'll show you how I created that application first off. I'm going to re-add these over to this menu. This is just to get rid of the group so I can show you how to rebuild it. So now to build a group, what I can do is I can pull the applications that I want in the group one by one. So I'll pull this over. And you'll notice when I started pulling to the right there, it created a bar here in the center, this darkened bar. Now, when this shows up, this basically represents that if you let go of the tile that you currently have, you will create a new group. And I will do that now. And there you go. It's created a new group. And I can now add more tiles to this group, or create another group over here again if I wanted to. But I'm going to create the Google Earth group again. So now I've got the tiles that I want into a group. What I can do is zoom out, and now I can manipulate the groups instead of the individual tiles. So I can right-click on each group or use the touch gesture I used to get options on the other tiles, which is pull down, check mark. There we go. And now I have options for the group. So I can name the group. That's the only option that's currently available. So I'm going to name this Google Earth. And hit name. And now it has a name. If I zoom in, I can see it has the Google Earth group again. Now, I don't like this at the very end. I want to move it up front because I use this more often, and so I don't like to go to the very end to get it. The more common tiles that you use, you should put closer to the front because they're easier and quicker to access. So I'm going to now grab this group, and I can pull it all the way over to here. Now, you can do this moving gesture by holding your left click on your mouse down. So you basically click on the group and pull it to where you want, drag and drop it where you want. So now it's organized kind of the way I want. I can zoom back in on my menu, and there it is, closer to the front for me to access. So that covers it for this training module. To recap, we went over live tiles, how to change live tiles, also how to change tile size and manipulate tiles. We also talked about how to name groups, work with groups, organize groups, creating new groups, and we also discussed the All Apps menu. Thank you for watching.